Hello and welcome to the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and today I'm here with Jon of TeamSetPass. Say what up.
Hey guys, how are we doing today? So you already know it's a how-to on Cyber Dragons, and that's the deck we kind of focus on our channel. So we're gonna go over my new deck list, and I'll have it on my channel later with a really in-depth view, but we're gonna talk about it and then play.
Alright, let's take a look at the deck list. If you're not familiar with this series, an expert with a deck shares their deck list. I play a few games on ygopro while the expert tells me what to do, and I try to be you, the audience, and ask all the questions that you might ask. If I forget to ask something, or maybe I thought it was obvious, feel free to ask it in the comments yourselves, and either one of us might reply. So let's just run through this deck list really fast. This is a Cyber Dragon deck list, so obviously it must play one Cyber Dragon, so quick card by card. We got 1 Cyber Dragon, 3 Cyber Dragon Core, 3 Cyber Dragon Hers, 3 Cyber Dragon Nashter, 2 Cyber Dragon Veer, 3 Galaxy Soldier, 1 Jizkuru, the Star Destroying Kaiju, 1 Dino Wrestler Pankratops, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 Cyframe Gear Gamma and the Cyframe Driver, 3 copies of Cyber Emergency, 1 Cyber Repair Plant, 1 Overload Fusion, and we have the debut of Triple Tactics Talents on this channel. We got 2 of those. 3 Forbidden Chalice, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Cybernetic Overflow, and 2 Infinite Impermanence is the main deck. In the extra deck, we've got 2 Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragons, 1 Fortress Dragon, 1 Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, 1 Invoked Mechaba, which I think is for Cyber Dragon Nova, 1 Elder Antidina Test for the Dragma match would be my guess, 2 Novas, 2 Cyber Dragon Novas, 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity, 1 copy of Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, 1 Salaman Great Almirage, 1 Cyber Dragon Seeger, 1 Predaplant Verte Anaconda, usually the win condition, 1 Cyframe Lord Lambda, 1 Blackluster Soldier of Chaos, 3 Artifact Lancia, 2 Nibiru the Primal Being, triple Forbidden Droplet also making its first appearance on the channel, 2 Cosmic Cyclones, 1 Cyberload Fusion, 1 Cybernetic Overflow in the side, I guess we're going first, and 3 evenly matched. Anything you want to mention about any of the weirder ratios people might not be used to? Like, I'm fully aware of the Trap Cyber Dragon deck that only plays 1 Cyber Dragon, but that might just stand out to some players.
Yeah, that's kind of where that whole thing originated with the trap builds, and it's kind of a consistency thing because you only have a 27% chance to open dupe that's usable in your opening hand, and in today's game with such big boards, the extra negate cards in your hand come in really handy. So I ended up trying it in Cyber Orcust and other builds, and then it finally made its way to my pure build.
Drop the extra Cyber Dragons because you're not playing the Machine Dupe, and I guess we searched the first one off of hers, and then we shouldn't need to get one ever again?
Yeah, not usually, and I mean, it kind of sucks still when you open it, but you can play around that.
Alright, well, at least it can search something. Well, once it goes in the graveyard.
Yeah,
what's the ultimate game plan of this build? Because I've seen a couple of cool builds on your channel with like synchros and stuff as well.
Yeah, that build's actually really fun too. But this build, so it's aggressive enough because Core and 1 Extender can make an OTK with Verde Anaconda, Infinity, and Rampage for 9,300. So it's pretty easy to do. And if we play enough hand traps and disruption cards that we can stop their board, usually that's enough to punch through for game and just kind of simplify the game state almost, if you will.
So that's the usual game state. Usually they get disrupted and you make Verte and Infinity.
And going first, it's kind of an Infinity control with hand trap type deal, and not really overextending and going for the OTK unless it's there. The deck does definitely OTK still very well, but without focusing on it, I think it helps fix a lot of the deck's weaknesses, such as grind game.
Alright, this synchro stands out as a sore thumb to me. Does it get made that often?
Not a whole lot. It's more of when I use Gamma on my turn. More often than not, that'll be like banishing Core from the graveyard, that effect that they'll negate, and then you Gamma them. And we went with Draco Berserker instead of like a Boral Savage, because we don't really put links into our graveyard too often, so Savage isn't really the best play unless you kind of cater your whole turn to getting a good link in the graveyard then at that point. Whereas Tenyi can become a big beater and banish an opponent's monster effect when they usually need the body on board. So
okay, the other thing that stands out to me just that I wanted to mention is triple Chalice over triple Imperm. Obviously it's just really playing 5 negates, and Chalice plays around the way people play around Imperm, I guess. Is there a reason this is the ratio you're going with?
I was seeing a lot of Numeron in testing, and they're starting to not use its effect until you put a monster on board to play around Gamma and Imperm, whereas Chalice can still hit it then. And I actually had quite a few instances where I boosted my own monster to win the game, because Chimeratech Rampage Dragon, if you resolve his effect to mill 2 and gain 2 attacks, you can then chalice it after and it gains the 400 attack, but it still attacks 3 times since the effect already resolved.
Yeah, similar to Boral Sword, still getting 2 attacks despite like negating it after the fact.
Yep.
So that makes sense. I like that. My only other comment is like Droplet versus Chalice.
Yeah, that was
because this is a lot of negate cards, and it feels like there's not enough room to play them all at any point. But maybe I'm missing. Just space-wise, it seems tough.
It is tough. And siding sometimes. That's why I like the 3 Naxxar and 2 Fear, because you can easily take one of each out without ever really noticing too much. So that's pretty much 2 free sides cards. And then obviously your Lightning Storms if you're versing a combo deck, as opposed to back row can come out really easily. A couple different things like that, but. Yeah, the discard sometimes, I guess, was why I put it in the side, but it might find its way to the main deck eventually as well.
Alright, because I've only tested it once, and the one time I actually drew it, it wasn't... It was like using a nuclear missile as a fly swatter at the time, you know?
Yeah,
you don't need the discard at the time, you don't need to hit more than one monster. I mean, it's good, I'm not saying it's bad in any way. Just don't know if it's the right tool.
It's great for a deck like Shaddoll where they all just plus then off of getting sent, but other than Hertz, we don't really have that advantage gained.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has some other features. I mean, I'll probably do a video purely on that card in the future. The only other thing that stood out was the Veer in general, since I know it's like a... I feel like in the past it was a no play even, like people didn't play it at all.
It's actually still kind of a no play. Anyone who's new to my channel, I don't really care what the common trend is for things. I like to go outside the box and try new things. And I found in this format, core resolving or not has been really key in a lot of wins. We won't actually get to see that on ygopro though, because they follow OCG timing, whereas Fear in your hand is a quick effect, not a trigger, so you can't chain block it. So that kind of stinks, but otherwise just resolving your core against these boards, because it's not just Ash Blossom, it's like Appaloosa, Boral Savage, any on the field negate, monster negate, you can chain block your core with your Fear, and then it's another level for your overflow.
Fair enough. We'll have to mention that when it comes up, that normally we wouldn't get screwed up by this, but yeah, we'll probably get screwed up by it at least once.
And if you set it, because you like brick and you just set it and they try to punch over it or so, when as soon as it flips, it has 2100 defense, so it's a nice little wall there too.
Yeah, it's very solid defense for a level 4 or lower monster. Alright, so we're going first or second with this deck?
I choose to go second. Game 1.
Alright, cool. Let's get into the matches. We'll see how it goes in practice.
I'm assuming he probably messed up mid-combo. And...
Yeah, so, hello, welcome to our first match. We actually were just playing against a match against Megalith, and he comboed for like 10 minutes, didn't do anything, and then scooped. Yeah. So we're playing over again. Alright. Alright, we lost the dice roll again. We opened a Vanilla Boy.
And both Fear.
That means we get to... Well, we don't get to chain block, but we could... Well, we can't chain block, because OCG, but... Alright. What's the play? Looks like this might actually resolve.
So I would first special summon Pankratops because he has nothing there. I really like Pankratops too because it helps us play around floodgates a little better. Although Verde lets us do that too because you can go into like your Almirage and then Verde, which is a plant, with a machine and Almirage and like actually get out your Rampage to pop back row, so it's a little easier now. But so I would summon the Hertz and then chain the Fear.
If zones matter, just let me know.
No, they shouldn't. Unless we play Talents and that happens to be an impermanence, but... So now I would go for the Verde Anaconda using both of our Cyber cards. And then hopefully use hers as effect. And we'll just grab the OG out of the deck since we have the other Fear, and hopefully they Ash it. Or Call by the Grave, that'll work too.
Well, that means we currently can't
yeah, that's actually going to really hurt. I guess then we're just going to go into a little beatdown for right now because we can't use our talents or anything.
It's your call. Do we attack with Verte Anaconda first?
No, I usually go with the Pankratops, and I'd rather just deal the 500 than take some damage and not get anything through anyway.
Oh, this worked out perfect. He'll pay 1,000, and we'll still get to kill his monster.
Yeah.
Rather than us taking damage for no reason.
Yeah, that wasn't Or is his a mandatory effect?
No, it's optional. But yeah,
so
he shouldn't have done that, considering we're only going to do 5.
Yeah. I actually would have used talents in the main phase to draw 2 there.
Oh, wait. Could we? He
'Cause
didn't use a
he-
monster effect during the main phase.
Oh, main phase, okay. Oh, you're right. I was thinking if they used a monster effect that turn. You are absolutely correct.
It's all good. I haven't decided that I like talents as a 3 of yet, because it's once per turn, so I figured 2 of is solid, which happens
Yeah.
to be a ratio.
It's kind of nice when you see it, but you don't really need to see it.
Clown.
And on the bright side, we do still have the 1 disruption if we
I
can
almost
hit a...
feel like we should pop the clown. Oh, not the clown, the math. Because he didn't do anything last turn, and we don't really want him killing Verte, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would do it right now because odds are he doesn't have another special summon or anything because he probably drew the math. Like you said, he would have normaled the math last turn. At least I assumed he would have if he had a play. So kind of assuming that was his draw for turn and then...
Well, if we just Kuru him, we can trigger talents.
Yep. And then we can also contact it off with fear for a fortress, and that'll make our Verde live to go into our rampage.
Okay, so just Kuru?
Yep.
Where to? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter, because we're just going to contact it. And then I guess we'll draw with our talents and see what our best normal summon is.
He said that he forgot his Verte Anaconda or something.
Not sure how he was going to go into it.
Yeah.
Unless he has maybe a Reaper in hand.
Okay, I got distracted. I'm sorry. What are we doing with talents?
Draw 2.
Pot of Greed.
I mean, you could have technically took the Kaiju, but we'd still need the way to get... I guess you can use your field too for your fear, but now I'd normal fear and contact fuse the Kaiju off. That's why I was saying not to use the Change of Heart, since we're just going to kind of get rid of them.
Okay.
For the Fortress Dragon.
Yeah, Mega Fleet would use our Verte.
And now he already used his Ash, so our Rampage effect should be good to go.
I mean, if he has called by for one of the Cyber Dragons, that would make it resolve without effect, but...
Yeah, that would be unfortunate again, but he'd have 1 card in hand on the bright side, so...
Well, you can't play around everything, it's impossible. You just have to hope the cards you have play around the things that are available.
And this is one of the things of how I mentioned not playing like super aggressive in OTK, because when stuff starts to happen like this, the deck still functions really well into the grind game. But like I said, if you open your core extender, that's potential OTK already there, so...
Alright, well, he's scooped. I'm not sure our second game will be as meaningful, considering he thinks he didn't put a card in his deck.
Yeah.
Assuming he's going first like he did before, what should we do for siding to go second?
Let's see, would we see Trick Clown and Math? I know Shadal's use both of those.
That makes sense. Which means we have to worry about Winda.
Yeah, I'd probably take Lightning Storms out, because, I mean, he'll have his Called by the Grave still, which would be the only thing I could think of, because otherwise El Shadal Fusion, he can just chain and use it anyway.
We can droplet for more ways to stop Winda.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet, because Winda just absolutely hurts. I'd put all 3 in and pull a Fear out.
Sure. That's good.
Like I said, it's nice having them real easy sides. Yeah, I don't want to overside not knowing for sure what he's playing. If he's supposed to have Verde, fusion cards there too, so Shadal might be a good guess.
It's a solid read, but he didn't have anything to fuse even if he did make a Verte, except I guess Dragoon would have been a possibility.
Yeah. I'm actually excited for that, because if everyone starts playing Dragoon, Super Poly's like just asking to be played, but Cyber Dragons can just absorb the Verde with Infinity and play around it that way. Like Super Poly at least, because you don't leave 2 darks on the field to ask for trouble.
Alright. I don't know how I feel about this hand.
2 a pass again. Luckily we're playing 3 Galaxy Soldiers. I would special summon Pankratops just to get the body on there. Then Galaxy Soldier, Pitching Soldier, just in case they negate the on the field effect. We still have Ogre in hand, then we don't lose out on our Ogre.
I mean, I imagine it's called by again, which of course it is. Which is fine.
So another benefit of having 3 Galaxy Soldiers is the one in our hand is still live for next turn.
Yep. I guess we're just battling.
Yeah, just punch away at it, and then we'll set our chalice before passing turn.
Which Shaddoll is this? Windy. We can negate its slip effect with Chalice.
Yeah, because we don't want... I'm assuming he didn't open very good again, so we don't want him to gain that free advantage.
Kind of nice you can use Chalice in the damage step to negate a flip effect.
Yeah, because it modifies the attack.
I think it works. Nice.
Yeah, 'cause I assume he would have put his, the one that draws 2 when flipped, and then you'd just flip it, and basically get 2 free cards on his turn, which would not be fun.
I don't think we need to pop that now. But yeah.
Well, I guess we can pitch 1 Ogre and see if we can get Soldier to resolve again or not. I'm
We
not
have the
always...
option of making Draco Berserker.
That's... I prefer Infinity. I mean, that it is an option.
Well, it's your call.
No, I mean, I would go for Infinity still. I really
Tribute
like...
summon, or we could summon the other Galaxy.
I'd pitch the other Ogre. I usually am not a big fan of pitching hand traps for the attempt to get into an Infinity, because you're giving up a negate for a negate, but in this case it's pretty obvious he didn't open very well, so we're going to go into our Infinity there. And a fun thing we not going to do, but if we knew he had bricked and he had less life points, we could actually go into a Verde with those two, and Nova and Infinity are Cyber Dragon monsters for Rampage. I would let him add. Oh, you can negate it.
Yeah, it's nice that Rampage just needs Cyber Dragon monsters, doesn't care what Cyber Dragons they are.
Yeah.
That's mildly annoying, but not that big a deal. Well, we don't want to do that.
No, not at this moment, but... So yeah, we at least have a pop and a negate and destroy.
Well, if you had bricked on Shaddoll Fusions, they're live now.
Yeah, that's... I mean, we can negate 1.
Yeah. Well, I guess we just let that go.
Match.
It's probably just a clown anyway.
Oh, finally we can play Cyber Dragons. I would search out our core, or just start baiting hand traps at this point, whatever it tends to come out to.
What do we get off core?
I would search the... what would I search? Well, Emergency's dead, so I'd search out the Overflow. And then linking off into our Verde with Pancratops and core. The Repair Plant can search out our level 5 Cyber Dragon. In case something happens now, we can overflow it from the hand to pop a card as well. So we'd have...
I just went by it a few times.
Oh. And then we can use Verde because we have Nova and Core in the graveyard as our 2 Cyber Dragon monsters. And hopefully backed up by Infinity, it should be enough to win this game.
I guess the only thing that can go wrong is that he uses a hand trap, and then the flip effect is relevant.
Yeah, I would definitely hold the negate for something that you know is going to mess up our chance to win.
Well, let's gain attacks. What do we send?
I would send Hertz and probably Core just to get it back to our hand for next turn. And now, worst case scenario, we still have a pop 2 with our Overflow if we can't put this one away with a Core in hand.
Alright, so battle phase it is. The sequence makes sense. That's probably the Trick Clown. So
what is attack?
Its defense is like 12.
I suppose we can't quite win this game then, because we'll have to use a Rampage attack on it. You shouldn't have anything with over 2,000 defense.
Okay, well this improves our ability to defeat them now. But, well, we can negate it, because otherwise we're just going to have to negate whatever brings out afterwards.
Yeah, so...
Flip and we'll get to like 60 something.
So, yeah, we'll hit for a good chunk at least, and then have a couple disruptions. And I don't think we absorbed anything with Infinity yet.
Do you not want to leave the Verte out there?
More or less the 200 boost, and like Verde's basically dead at this point since we only have the one fusion anyway. Might as well get the extra negate for a following turn. And then just setting the overflow. But yeah, because Verde's kind of just sitting there as a 500 monster for him to do something to. Not that I think he actually would have Mega Fleet in his extra deck anyway, but that would be really unfortunate.
Well, I feel like he drew that for turn, so I think if we negate that, that might end the game.
Yeah, I think if he had Shaddoll Fusion too, he would have tried something last turn. There's a good chance that if it was... Oh, there he does have it.
Well, we couldn't know that. It seemed odd. I guess he didn't want to waste a card that wasn't going to finish the game, which makes sense.
But I mean, we probably wouldn't be able to negate what we want to if we let it resolve, because they chain block everything anyway. And now we can still pop 2 cards with Overflow that should be able to put it away, since the fusions are each once per turn, I believe.
He might force us out with a dragon. Well, not yet, at least.
Ooh, I guess we can't pop the window, but...
Well, we can only summon once.
Interesting choice.
He should have a clown in his hand, right?
I believe so.
Because he searched something off of Damage Juggler.
Yeah, and I don't think it came out yet, because that would have been the 1,000 life points we needed. I guess we'll see what he kind of goes for a play here. And he'll probably end up taking out our Rampage, which is okay.
Well, he put Wind in attack, so it means we can just eat it. And
not that we would necessarily need the bringing Rampage back with only 1,000 life points, but Core can just search out Emergency to get us our Naxter. We can pitch Cyber Dragon to special summon and do that. So I guess we'll see how he leaves his field and go from there.
I mean, I hope he tries to pop the trap card. We get a search if he does that, right?
Yep. And we can chain it and take out his set card now, so clear that off the field as well. I would get rid of the Hurts in the graveyard just to keep that discard fodder for Naxter in our hand.
Well, I mean, popping it doesn't really do any... Oh, it came out by its own effect, so yeah. Oh, or did it?
For which one?
I forgot if the Falco summoned off of its own effect, or if it summoned off of Wendy. Either way, he can only summon once.
Yeah.
Because popping Falco usually just brings Falco back.
Yeah, so kind of how we expected that all to go then, and...
Well, we can only special once, so we have to be... Oh, we need him.
Well, you can just absorb it, yeah.
Yoink. Alright. Attack for game.
Yeah. So, simple enough.
Activate Damage Juggler. Chain Gamma.
Negate. Oh,
right.
that would suck.
Alright, so that's our first match. Let's get into game 2.
Well, we were right about Shaddolls at least.
Yeah, we were able to make a read. A reasonable read. Although, it didn't seem like the best build.
Yeah, it was kind of nice that we opened less fortunate with the ogres and not really being able to do a cyber play initially. But I mean, even in a dupe build, you usually only play 12 Cyber Dragon monsters, which we are still playing, so it's more of an unfortunate thing as opposed to a you should be playing dupe thing.
We won the dice roll. Should we choose to go second?
I do. Unless I know what they're playing, which on here that never actually happens, I still choose to go second. Opening Overload Fusion is actually kind of nice, since now we could end up actually going into like a Seeger and then using that with Rampage and attacking for 12,000. Numerons?
I'm hoping it's Numerons. I feel like that would end the game to ogre that. Could be Dinosaur at this point, because Diagram, well...
Well, we might find out now.
It's just pure True Draco.
Oh. Card D. I definitely think hitting Diagram's going to be a good ogre hit, though.
Yeah, as it's a one of.
They have he probably opened the trap where he can tribute summon on his turn, or our turn, so...
Well, he decided not to Diagram.
Yeah, that was... Okay. Ooh, 3 back row, though, verse... I would normal our Hurts and go into our Almirage to get the search off potentially. And there's a decent chance he has there can be only one on the field, so being leery of that as we make our play. Ooh, summon limit.
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah, that one's unfortunate. So I would have much rather had a there can be only one, because then we could just special our Naxter and go into Verde and Overload Fusion. I guess we don't have.
I guess we're just gonna do nothing. I can't think of a reason to set this Chalice. I think it would just be in danger.
Yeah, not versus True Draco. So I guess we're done for this turn.
Yeah, we could potentially bait him to using a Draco monster, Chalice it, and then still draw cards.
Reckless Greed. Another interesting deck.
Ooh, Metaltron 12.
Lose 1 turns.
Well, we should definitely ogre that.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine anything else worth ogering.
I mean, we've seen a decent bit of his deck already, thanks to Duality.
Yeah,
Oh.
he has to lose 1 turn. I mean, if he would have been able to tribute summon first, he should have to, you know, use his Draco Search off of an interaction.
Oh.
Okay, so unaffected by spells and traps.
And that summon limit's going to make it a little annoying to deal with.
Yeah, there's no... I mean, at least we can... We might just block with Cyber Dragon, then we can...
No, I think our best play will be to pitch our Cyber Dragon for our Naxter, and then we can Overload Fusion and pop the summon limit, and then we can mill our Hers and Core to get our core back.
Sounds like a plan. Well, the summon limit's going to be a problem, actually.
And not using Naxter's effect. So just summon it in no effect. So now we can Overload Fusion into Rampage, and...
I think this won't work, though, because I think he's got summon limit. Did he tribute summon limit, actually?
Yeah, he got rid of one.
Okay. Well, this lose 1 turn's there.
The 2 in the graveyard. Does lose 1 turn negate it?
It does, but he tributed 1. That doesn't mean he has 1.
And then I'd pop the summon limit in the set card. And hope it's not an imperm or something.
It's probably another lose 1 turn. Oh, really? Of all things.
Oh, that's okay, though. So then we can mill our Hertz and our Core. We're right on top. Just to get it back.
I think because he was tribute summoned, if it's destroyed, he can summon something from the extra deck. I mean, we'll be bigger than most things, but if there was a way to get into Lambda, that would be nice. I just don't know if we can do that.
Not
in a way where we can attack over him, at least.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll probably have to normal core, but we can get overflow at least to pop some stuff if we can't put this one away.
Now, Seeger and attack a bunch. Seeger, right?
Yep.
Just verifying, because I only sort of know what I'm doing.
And now we can go battle phase. And then first thing, Seeger boosting the Rampage. And yeah, attack.
And I wonder what he'll summon. So it can't be light or dark.
Hopefully something with 2,000 or less attack or defense, because Seeger can still attack it, it just won't deal damage.
I mean, usually it's Naturia Exterio. Just because it doesn't do light or dark, so Exterio is like the most broken monster amongst the set.
Ooh,
that's up. Oh, we can chalice it.
Yeah.
We could chalice it
No.
first.
Yeah, I mean, just to chalice and get it out of the way.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's a sequence where he gains attack, but we do something with it, but not really.
Well, can't quite put this one away, but
That's pretty close. Maybe he'll scoop by accident. That happens on Yugioh Pro, right?
I have had people do that at regionals too, where Cyber Load Fusion locks only that monster can. I'm setting our overflow then.
I'm considering we might want to set our talents because he can just tribute summon and pop it before we want to use it, where we can have like a bluff down at least.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I also don't think he's playing any monster effects that activate on our turn, except maybe a True Draco monster.
So otherwise, going into a Lambda wouldn't be a horrible idea for like certain decks because we have Core and Grave who can access our monsters in the deck like Naxter and special summon stuff back. But first True Draco, it's just not really a good call to go into, I don't think.
Well, we should definitely kill that guy.
Yeah, no point in letting him draw free cards.
Do we go for 2? I guess we go for 2. Keep the... What do we keep? Hers or Naster?
I'd keep hers.
And
I don't think
which
so.
set? It could
I
be a
guess
True Draco's trap card, in which case we lose our monster, but we can't know that.
So I'm trying to think if there's any traps that we should even be worried about on our turn.
Nothing that would keep us from doing 18, I don't believe.
Yeah, so I think just, I guess, pop the spell. Keep.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, we have 21 and 21, so my thoughts are if it's Apocalypse or Return, it's just gonna... Because he can't draw cards because he's under Reckless Greed.
Yeah, I suppose either way we'd still have one monster on the
The only
board.
way we lose is if it's like Metaverse or Mystifine or something.
That would be really annoying.
Okay. Chimera Tech.
Yeah. I always just do it just in case something happens.
We might need a follow-up, but I mean, if we're really concerned, we can tribute summon the Pankratops, pop the set, and then like summon Naster, and then bring back Rampage and attack afterwards. Like, there are things we can do, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's really going to matter at this point. I mean, he already said GG's, but...
Well, he can press the button whenever he's ready to, but until he does, we have to assume we're still playing.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people do all kinds of weird stuff. Okay, what do you think?
Oh, so the True Draco, I would put my Evenlies and my Cosmics. I'm just debating because a lot of time they make me go first. I'd pull the Psy-Frame since they're not really monster reliant too much.
At least not while we have a clear board. And while we can do Lambda, I don't know if that'll make sense. Kaijuing his Metaltron could be useful. We might want the second Overflow and the Cyberload.
Yeah, I'd put both in. I like them both for going first against back row decks because they work really well together too.
You might make us go first. We don't know that for sure though. I don't know for sure these imperms are all that... Well, the imperms might be useful for turning off a column, but I don't know if the Chalice will be that useful.
And the Chalice, even though it just helped win the game, I don't think that's going to happen again.
Oh, the talents are kind of useless.
Yeah, because he's not really using monster effects, so 2 talents and a Chalice.
Because there's a chance that the monster he puts on the board is unaffected by traps, in which case we can't turn off the column with the imperm. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess we'll go with this and see what happens.
Yeah, so. Well, we got our Lightning Storm, so that's nice. And
well, that could end the game, but he's playing like a bunch of Reckless Greed, so we'll just like, we'll fire this off, he'll draw 6 cards.
Yeah.
Art of Demise? No.
Well, perfect hand. So yeah. Might be a nice quick one, unless he has Judgment. That could make it a little more interesting at least.
I can't get myself to purchase these. I guess we don't really care if he draws 2 cards, right?
Oh, might as well save it in case there's something actually relevant that sneaks up on us. I think you're gonna be right, though. He might draw 6.
I was kidding, but I mean, it's pretty funny. Summon limit, Waking the Dragon. Well, that's something we might want to ash.
Good thing we held that one.
We win with the cards we have in hand, right?
Yeah, the emergency and hurts actually is enough to OTK against a clear field, so.
Alright, let's go. I haven't seen a hand trap yet, so I don't think there'll be one.
Or then core summon, searching out our repair for our soldier.
Activate here?
Yeah, you can. It's not really needed, but it's not gonna hurt either.
Also, realistically, we would do this to chain block.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was ideal situations. So now you can would go just right into Verde. There's actually a few OTKs we could go for there because of Seeger in the hand, but this is the more common one that people should know how to do. This is a how-to video.
Yeah.
So going into Gal. Yep.
Galaxy Soldier for the hers.
Yep, and then we're actually going to get core back off of hers, just in case something goes wrong, since we have another light in hand for our
Chain
discard.
block, so the soldier goes through, right?
Yep. Yeah, because we really don't need whatever hers would get at this point. But I would grab... Having access to core to start your play each turn is really, really good. And then pitching our fear, and we can possibly proceed to win.
So if he had Nibiru, he would do that now. Otherwise, he's kind of done, right?
Yeah, because it will trigger a Nova if he does. A lot of people do that, though.
Should we bring anything back? Does it matter?
No, it won't matter. So we can just go right into Infinity. Another thing that's nice with your Nova, if you bring back your Hurts to attach it with Infinity, just a plus on your opponent's turn when you negate something. But I don't think we're going to need any of that here.
Alright, and use scoops.
Kind of hoping we got Nibiru at least once so we could use their token to go into our BLS link, because people get really angry when you do that.
That one sounds like fun. I've never owned the BLS card, so I haven't tried it. I purposely try not to play cards I don't own, unless I intend to purchase them.
Yeah.
Zephyra.
Not a fan of any type of pendulum deck. It's never
I
like...
played one for one regional. It's okay. It's the best deck. Pendulum. Alright.
As long as he doesn't end up with 30 negates, we'll be okay.
Well, I mean, there's a good chance. I mean, he doesn't seem to have... Well, we can stop them from getting a negate now.
Yeah, well, because he already pendulum summoned too.
And he only pendulum one, so... I don't know what he's searching. He could just be searching another Providence or Oracle. I think... I don't know how much negating this would help. It probably would be good.
Yeah, I feel like they usually don't pendulum summon this early unless they have to.
Something went wrong. Plus, we have Chalice for a lot of stuff that we might deal with on our turn. Like, a lot of the Zephyr builds now do that just go into Calamities, and they usually need Oracle of Zephyr to do that, because they'll stack their deck with Gizmek Kaku, the Sky Stag, the level 9.
Yeah, and then just special summon it.
Yeah, so, I mean, he could have counter traps down, but at least we get to do something. And if he's got, like, pillars, he might trigger our ability to use talents.
So, I guess opening up, we'd go for core again.
Well, if he uses... Well, he can't use Divine Strike. If he has pillars, this will go back in our deck, so it won't be the negate add back thing. The silly recovery play that this card has built into it.
Yeah, it's... A lot of people learn, though, it's just easier to negate the card you search off of it, usually.
Okay. So, Core?
Yeah, core. Downside to pendulums is you cannot mega fleet them because they do not go to the graveyard.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way. I was playing against Cosmo early on, and then I was siding Mega Fleet with Cyber Dragons for it. And then, what happened? I was trying to use it on Klee also, and found out the hard way I couldn't do that.
Oh,
okay, draw 2 cards, or we can...
No, I'd draw 2 and see if we can get into what we need anyway.
I don't think that's what we needed.
No, not necessarily ideal, but... Let's see. What is our graveyard again? Just the core?
Not even. He shuffled it back because of Pillar's effect.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do.
We might want to just start filling our graveyard.
I mean, we got the 2 next. So I'd probably pitch the 1 Hertz just to put the body on board and get our level 5 out of the deck for next turn.
I'm seeing like a sequence where we like we normaled already. Never mind.
Yeah.
So I was thinking normal the Her's going to Almirage to add the Cyber Dragon, then Nashter discarding it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
We shuffled it back, so we can't quite do it.
So Nashter discard Her's, search Cyber Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awkward ones like this that make me wish I still ran my Lin Karibo.
Yeah, my Infernoid deck had a choice of Almirage or Karibo, and I picked Almirage. Defense, I guess we're not doing any real damage here.
Yeah, defense, and then we can even bait something out with the Her's effect.
I guess we'll just set pass. We should probably set because we don't want to have to Ash, because he's definitely going to Pendulum Summon Zafranyu.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll at least have 2 disruptions and a playable hand.
Okay, so that's going to probably pop the set Chalice. Alright, whatever. Yeah, it wasn't going to work anyway. He still doesn't have a Link monster, so he can only pen 1. And he can only Pendulum Summon Ritual Beast right now because of the Pelika in his extra deck. So we should definitely... I think if we stop this, that might end his turn.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's kind of floodgating himself at the moment.
Yeah. I forget that the... Oh, no. No! It makes a little bit of sense, but his play was so fast last time I didn't put him on that. Oh, he can Pendulum Summon the thing. I'm forgetful of how this thing works. I think we're gonna die.
Yeah, it's not looking too good now. We're in like synchro combo.
Should I just scoop? I mean, what are the odds we can break it?
Let's see.
Oh, he could still Pendulum Summon, and he's got a... He can Pen Summon Zephyras or Ritual Beast is what it was. That's how I was like misremembering it.
Let's see what he does. If he just does the Savage Arclight, we might be able to get through it. Arclight's actually the harder card to get around. I mean, you can just attack over it, but it turns off like our Galaxy Soldiers and stuff.
Yeah, but he's also going to probably Pen Summon the... Oh, actually, he doesn't have the scale currently. Did he use it yet? The Zephyrath? If he Zephyraths and puts another 7, he'll be able to Pen Summon the Zafranyu, search the counter trap again. And then it won't matter what we do. Zephyra Shadal Core? Shadal Zephyr Core. Okay. Oh, and he has that, so that's a level 9. Okay, he's gonna get Calamities too.
Yeah, that's game.
Okay, I'm gonna scoop. I know better.
The idea to get around the Savage would be to bait out the negate and go into our Seeger to beat over it. But
now, I don't know how confident you are in our going first game, but I actually think this is the kind of deck that it's a bit dangerous to choose to go second. But
yeah, I do like to go first against Pendulums. putting in our Cosmics, Cyberload, and Overflow again for sure. This is where I have a love-hate with Lightning Storm, because it's not really useful when we go first, and...
We gotta cut 4.
Might seem weird, but I would pull the Lightning Storms.
I don't think it's that weird. We got 2 more. We could cut the Talents, the Pankratops.
Yeah, probably a Pankratops and Fear.
Maybe the Kaiju? Yeah.
I like to leave it in there just because it is searchable still, so...
Alright, let's go first against Pendulum! Alright, this didn't work out so well.
Hey, Kaiju.
Yeah, if only we went second, this hand actually looks really good. Well, okay.
We can turn off one of his Pendulum columns at least.
So set them both?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully he's not playing Lightning Storm and just punishes us for that.
Now we can Gamma him.
Yeah, only... I don't know who'll get a follow-up better, us or him. This field spell's awesome. Now Oracle I did play because I played Pure Yangzing. You know, when called by the grave didn't kill.
Yeah. Ooh,
well, I think we can let him pay 5,000 life points.
Yeah.
I don't know what he summons off of this. I feel like I've heard what they summon. Alright. Chalice, so he doesn't know it's an imperm for sure.
Yeah.
Somebody was playing this in a video I watched. I just can't remember exactly what their game plan was. It was definitely a game plan. Cannot for the life of me remember what on earth it was. I mean, it's usually Exterio, but...
Say if we shouldn't have used the Imperm. Just because now we can't negate a negated monster to get rid of the column. But I still think we're in an alright position.
Considering... I mean, he might have just put Zephyrath. Well, we can negate this one, but should we?
No.
He's got such little life because he paid the life. Like, I'm seeing a scenario where we do Gamma this, it gets destroyed, he passes turn, we give him just Kuru, we summon Cyber Purrs.
We can actually keep the Kaiju at the moment because Cyberstein's already a machine.
Okay, so at the moment, let this go?
No, let's hit it with Gamma like you had said.
No, actually, if we it depends on what he searches as to what really matters, because let's say he just searches a counter trap and passes. We can Kaiju the Zephyranyu and just make a 3,000 Mega Fleet. Oh,
and he needs a Zephyr monster for the... Well, I guess we're not using any monster effects.
Yeah, we could just hold it for something else. It really depends on where he goes. Because there's a bunch of cards he can search that become useless depending on how we approach this play. I guess if he searches War, that would be a problem.
Well, welcome everyone to How to Beat Zephyra.
You let them pay 5,000 life points with Cyberstein.
And then make a 3,000 Fortress.
Okay, that's the perfect card for him to have searched, because there's none of the cards we're going to play are going to be dealing with that. Okay, that doesn't matter.
So assuming he has Gamma in hand.
Actually, we might want to try and find a way to force his Gamma, then we can Gamma him as an alternative. Oh, well, I guess this is a live counter trap now. I don't know what to do. Because now we can Mega Fleet him, I guess. What are you thinking? John, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if you're there or... Hello? Alrighty, I'll have to make a choice. Hello? Hello? Hello, hello.
Oh. Hey,
All
sorry.
right, it's fine. I won the game somehow.
Did it go as we were hoping?
No, he made a lambda, which was kind of, I don't know if you saw it. Were there for the lambda?
Yeah, that was right when I lost
All right.
connection.
Well, either way, we won the game. So let's side to go second.
Okay, so they have the counter traps, but is this I mean, normally for pendulums, I always put my evenlies in.
Maybe we should cut the trap in the cyberload, because odds are they won't go off.
Yeah, I like them more for setting them both going first and upping back rovers, those types of decks.
I feel like the Nibiru should be a good play for them.
Yeah, put the Nibirus and maybe pull the tacticals.
Well, I don't know if they'll definitely activate a monster, but it'll probably be like a Calamities in our draw phase. So, all right, we got one more card.
When in doubt, pull a Naxter.
Fair enough. All right, we're good this way, or well, we're going second. Maybe we should put the Pank back in.
Yeah, I guess lightning over the Cosmics probably wouldn't be a bad idea as a.
Yeah. All right, we got to cut one more card for the Pank.
Just kind of commit to going second here.
Is there any reason we should consider a drop play?
I'm
not sure. I don't feel like we need to negate multiple cards. I don't feel like we need to discard multiple cards either. Unless we like. Yeah, let's start because he's been waiting a long time. I'm thinking we could play Droplet and like a ton of Cyber Dragons and a bunch of Overload Fusions to ensure everything's negated. Oh no, he made us go first. Uh-oh. All right, so we're going first. We have a very limited play. We have a bunch of stops though.
Yeah, at least we maybe set a Chalice and.
Should we bother even with the emergency in case we draw another one?
Yeah, because they're all once per turn, so you don't want to get stuck on it.
Should we bother normaling core? Should we bother even searching core?
I would search it, but leave it in hand. I don't want to put anything on board just to keep our lightning live. Yeah.
I think we could set both if that's the case. Because we might die if we don't.
Yeah, we don't want to die. And since they're still set, if it doesn't get used, we can Lightning Storm.
Yeah. So what happened in the last game is, do I want to get Gamut? Do we risk getting Gamut?
I say go for it, because he might just go into Helka Fibrax again right away. Oh, and he does have it too.
Yeah, oh well. I feel like you can't really play around it.
Yeah, you kind of just gotta throw it into the trap hole.
Yeah, check out the series Yu-Gi-Oh! In Order if you want to see what we're talking about. It'll be linked up above. Negate! So we just need an extender, and we need him not to get anywhere.
Yeah. At least not anywhere far.
Well, we can Lightning Storm a lot of it. But, I mean, assuming he just, like, puts Zafranyu on board to do a search, we can negate that and hopefully end the game.
And we just need that one extender.
And him not to have one of his live counter traps or something. Okay, so I think... Oh. Do we want to negate... What does this do? Target is... It's going to summon a scale. He's going to make that tuner. He can make a level 7 synchro.
That be the Odd Eyes play? Do they go through?
I'm not fully aware.
Or is that next season?
He's trying to summon this. I feel like we should either stop him from summoning the card or stop... I mean, either way we should use this, because let's say he's playing Yazi, which is a possibility. If he makes Yazi and pops this anyway, we can't target Yazi. So I think we should stop the Zephyr Core from giving him a free monster.
Yeah, and then he'll probably get the counter trap.
Well, this is not the Searcher,
Oh,
this is
that's
the
the-
Tuner. I misread what it was before, because, believe it or not, Zafraxi and Zafrani look very similar color-wise. Just a quick glance, seeing the worms with wings didn't really catch which one it was.
That definitely looked.
Zephyr is like my favorite deck in terms of its appearance, just as like a pendulum card with all the color they have. The gold. They're a good mix. I feel like all the cards work together with this half spell, half monster aspect.
Yeah, I just can't bring myself to like pendulums. Just always not been a fan of that.
He should be. Actually, we could have a big problem, because if he synchro summons, assuming he can synchro summon, he'll get to choose one monster from his deck and place it on top. I mean, that could be nothing.
I guess we'll just have to see here.
Okay, well now our Lightning Storm can't clear the way. And, he doesn't have any... He doesn't have... Okay,
Ooh.
This is good, actually. Alright, so... What... He doesn't have the card in the graveyard that would prevent him from being destroyed, but he can, if he has pillars, he can negate by shuffling back his Aphraxi, and then we can use it again.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we can go through with lightning.
And there's no reason to lightning one
Yeah, no.
Fibrax.
Getting rid of those scales hurts too. So.
I mean, if this is Divine... well, that's kind of what I thought it would be. He negates the activation though, so now we have another one in deck. And we can use it again to get rid of the scales.
Yeah, I think that actually works out better. Because now he's gonna have one in hand plus a draw against our mega fleet. Oh, against our fortress.
Timing depending on what that goes into. What synchro is something to worry about?
I know they use formula to get a free draw. Yeah, and even if you put it in, even if you put it in a main zone too, we could still go into fortress.
All right. Well, let's normal. And what should we get?
I would search out our repair plant.
And should we make Mega Fleet or?
Yeah, I'd go into Mega Fleet.
Fleet or Fortress?
Fleet.
All right.
Then I wouldn't use our repair plant yet, because depending what our, like, we don't want to search a soldier and then draw a soldier next turn. So, and save it to see what we draw and then get what we actually
let's
need.
Just run this over and see where we stand, right?
Yeah.
This card activates when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect or when it's pendulum summoned. And it summons a scale, which he doesn't have.
And so unless he drew like the two perfect scales,
he'd still only be able to pendulum summon one, which doesn't mean much. Although I guess pendulum summoning Zafranu is always solid. Okay. Well,
oh, lightning storm.
well, we can... Should we use it? Is there anything to use it for specifically? We could link... This could be used for link material, right?
Yeah, we can't quite close the game with Rampage.
Alright, maybe we attack one more turn. And then
yeah, we'll... Yeah, and then next turn, if he still has nothing, we can do the Rampage play and finish it.
I just know this is like our only search for soldiers, so we're trying to be really cautious with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because we could have went for like a Hertz there to get our core back for next turn, but then we have to hard draw our soldier from that point on, so... I feel like the game's
he's
in
got
us.
3 cards. What can he do?
Oh, end turn. Okay.
That should be game unless... I mean, he could have a Gamma because his driver's in the graveyard. So that's one thing to worry about.
I guess we'll search and see what happens first. I would search out another core here.
I'm thinking of a scenario where we make Lambda, but I don't know if that's worth doing. But alright, core. Alright, normal core. What do we search?
I'd grab... Oh, we already or we sided out our overflows. The emergency will be fine.
Yeah, we were hard going second and then went first anyway.
And yeah, Verde.
just use it
Yeah.
and hope for the best. He doesn't have it, or he wants us to use more stuff.
Yeah, so
Okay, Rampage.
mill 2?
Hers and the other core?
Yeah, just to get it back to our hand.
Does he play Ciphering Gear Beta? I mean, I have. Alright, let's go.
And that should be enough.
We did it. We beat Pendulum, the best deck.
Yeah. A Cyber Dragon, best deck by default.
Yeah, but transitive property.
Yes.
Alright, let's go back to the deck list. Alright, based on everything that's happened, is there anything that didn't come up worth mentioning, or anything you can think of that you'd like to mention before we close out and send everybody over to the TeamSetPass YouTube channel?
So I guess a few things quick. Remembering that Hurts, you can only add the original from your deck, but it doesn't target. Online simulators don't matter a lot, but I've seen at regionals, people ask for a target and then like DD Crow it or something, but it doesn't target. So I think that's just a good thing to know. But otherwise, no, I think this actually kind of made me want to keep Lightning Storm in there more as I was debating on it, but it came up and it was nice, so...
I'm contemplating whether this droplet's necessary, just because we never found the time to side it in.
Yeah, with Imperms and Gamma and Chalice, there is a lot of answer negate there, but...
Yeah, I mean, Droplet has the benefit, like, if you have, like, a dead, like... Let's say you play Tenki in a deck, and it just sits on your field.
Yeah.
You can kind of mitigate its cost that way. I mean, Droplet doesn't target, which is nice.
Even if you have, like, you open 2 Ash Blossoms, you can just use one as a pitch then, since you can't use them both. So, a few little things, but...
Yeah. Other than changing the side deck a little, I think this went fine. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this episode of How to Play. If you learned something, you know, let us know in the comments. If you hate our build, let us know in the comments. Or stop by TeamSetPass, subscribe to see his next video, and comment positively or negatively. You know, all engagement is good engagement. I enjoyed what we built. This was fun.
I like all feedback, good and bad, so...
Yeah,
it helps us grow hearing what we're doing wrong, so...
Oh yeah, of course. I got some heat on the Adamantipator video that went up the other day. Just a little bit.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah. Alright, we'll see you guys next time.